we are driving to Greece from the UK on a budget, and we're going to tell you how we're going to do it.
Hey, welcome back. So if you've seen the announcement, you'll know that we are moving to Zante, and we've decided to drive. Why?
Because of the cats.
We have 2 cats, and yeah, we're going to cover that in another video, aren't we?
We are. If you haven't seen the announcement vid, head over now, because you need to watch that before you watch this. We priced different ways of getting the cat over, and we've decided to drive just because it's cheaper. Our cats don't deal well without us, and we feel it would just be the best option for us and the boys.
Peppy. Oh my God.
So the car we're taking this plus 2,000 mile trip in is the Ford S-Max Titanium. It's our main family car, and we bought it originally back in 2015. It's just perfect. It's automatic, it's cruise control, it's just brilliant.
It's spacious.
Oh yeah.
It's got like 10 seats on it.
7. Are you sitting on the roof? All in all, it's absolutely perfect for what we need it for, a long grand tour.
We're aiming for about a 4-day trip. We could do it tighter, we could do it within like 2 to 3 days, but we're not going to do that because we don't want to be under an insane amount of pressure. We don't know what the traffic's going to be like. We don't know what the queues at the border is going to be like. And the ferries in Zante, Greece, are so unpredictable. So we are going to allow ourselves like 3 days in total.
A number of places where we found really helpful with regards to the route when we were trying to plan it out. There are a number of Facebook groups. There's one that's is it Road Trip UK to Greece?
Yeah,
that's a really good group.
Amazing, yeah.
Google Maps was great, and My Michelin and Toll Guru. Toll Guru and My Michelin were especially helpful with regards to working out the costing. So in Toll Guru, mainly, you can work out with regards to fuel and with the tolls, as I've just said. But what we then did is we took those numbers a number of different ways and compared that with regards to going maybe down through Italy and going from Ancona,
which is the most popular route, I would say.
That's with a ferry, so you come all the way down through the Alps, through France, through the Alps, through Italy, and either come out from Ancona or what's the one further down, Brindisi or something. So
we'll drop it in here.
We priced the ferry, and that can be quite cost effective. However, our car is over 4.7 meters. So that already adds a price. We'll be having a roof box, which takes it another tier, and then we're taking 2 cats, which means we're going to need a cabin that is pet friendly. The ferry alone for the dates that we were looking for was around 450, 480 euros, where in comparison, just the cost of driving, the fuel and the tolls was around 400 euros. That's a no-brainer for us, which is why we opted to go overland. We've had to get notes. We just tried to whittle off the route.
To France and then forgotten the rest of it. So we're going to Folkestone to Calais. Then we're driving through France to Belgium. We're going Belgium to Germany, Germany to Austria, Austria to Slovenia, Slovenia to Croatia, Croatia to Serbia, Serbia to Bulgaria, Bulgaria to Greece, Greece to Zante.
The reason why I'm going straight into Belgium from France is because there's much less tolls.
Yeah, so I'm just going to briefly talk through our hotel stops now. So what we're planning to do is we are leaving on the Sunday night, and we have our Eurotunnel booked for around 5 o'clock in the morning. We get over to France at around 7 local time, and then we are driving through in one day, driving from Calais into Belgium, Belgium into Germany. So our first stop is Stuttgart. Have I said that right?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Yes.
Let's just stop and just stay in Stuttgart. It's much easier.
So our first stop is Stuttgart, and we have booked a hotel there, and then we are leaving the next day. This is quite a long journey. So the next day we'll be leaving early in the morning, about 7:30, and we will be continuing through Germany, going through Austria, Slovenia, and then our next hotel stop will be in Croatia. And then the next day after that, we are leaving Croatia and travelling down to Serbia into Bulgaria by Sofia, going straight the way down, entering Greece at the
Thessaloniki.
that border there, and then driving all the way down through there to Zante. We will have a stop in Greece. We've got an idea of a hotel where we want to aim for. We haven't booked it yet because if we're feeling perky, we might just push through and see how far down into Greece we get. So once we get to Greece, we'll be driving to the port, which is called
Kyllini.
And there we will get the ferry across to Zante, which is a 35-minute ferry, and there are 4 different times a day for that, to be honest. So
yeah,
it's pretty good.
The company's called Levante Ferries, and they're pretty much it's a standard roll and roll off.
Yeah.
It's a row. But you don't necessarily have to book that far in advance. We did a trip back in January with our friend who picked us up in Athens, and it's quite a relaxed affair, isn't it? Really, on the ferries. Windy. So just to take you back a little bit after our first day, so once we leave Germany, we're going to be going through Austria. Now, they don't necessarily have toll roads. You have to purchase a vignette. You can get those at the border crossings. You can also purchase an e-vignette ahead of time. That's what we've done. It was €9.90 for a 10-day period. And you can post-date that. So I've kind of kicked that off from like the day we're in Germany, so it kind of covers the whole time. We're only going to be there for a matter of hours, but that covers that. Couldn't pre-purchase for Croatia, so that's going to have to be paid on the day as we go at the tolls, and also kind of moving through there. The toll price calculator, which was on Toll Guru, it's worked out at about €16.90. And finally, the main place. What's that? Yes, it's And then finally, the one that is going to be the biggest cost is the toll roads in Greece. Now, we had a little bit of a moment of it. As I mentioned, we drove from Athens to Zante in January, and although you can pay by card in some of these places, just have the cash.
Basically going to be €20 or something
like that.
Yeah, so it's not like expensive, but it's annoying you can't get it in advance. Our route initially took us through Macedonia, and we've decided not to do that. We're going round instead, so we'll be doing like Serbia instead. Reasons for this are purely because of safety. People have done it and they've said it's fine. Some people have done it and said it was a bit of a nightmare as well. I think there's something to do with the car insurance. Some people don't insure to drive through there, so we just thought, to be on the safe side, we'll just avoid it.
Once we decided on the route, although it's not set in stone, I called up our insurance provider and I said, thank you, Gina, can I give you a list of countries and can you tell me if we're insured?
Okay, so we're just going to quickly talk through our costings so far. So,
do you have a spreadsheet?
I do have a spreadsheet. So your route tunnel was £167. That includes 2 cats and that includes the roof box. The ferry from Greece to Zante is looking at about €68. That's there's no extra cost for the cats. Accommodation so far, we've booked 2 accommodations, and that's looking at about €160 in total. So in tolls, we don't know the full cost yet, but we're guessing probably in total around €20 for Greece, £8.81 for Austria. Approximately. And Croatia is €16. We got a roof box and that was £149. And then the roof bars were an extra £70. So fuel, we are estimating at
€380.
Also, as well, there are costs that we have to pay for, as in we need to service the car because we need to make sure it's good and proper and, will do its thing. And apparently we need some sort of triangle.
Yeah, so the S-Max comes with a puncture repair kit. I don't know why car manufacturers started this. Anyway, this is not the time or the place. And so we've also purchased a Space Saver wheel and a jack and brace. Secondly, whenever you're going through Europe, you need a warning triangle, you need high-vis vest, and you need a UK sticker. We also need deflectors on the front of the headlights. We need all of those as well to be road legal when driving through Europe.
Fun. We will do an updated version on this video when we've actually completed the trip and talk about our costs, because for now we are estimating the costs. We will give you an update when we arrive. Also as well, we will be vlogging this whole trip and we will be putting it up
As a daily vlog.
as a daily vlog. Yeah, we will be bringing you along for the journey and filming it all, warts and all. So guys, thank you so much for watching this vid. This is just one of about 5 that's coming on the channel. Lucky you. So yeah, we'll see you on the other side.
If you've got any questions with regards to our plans, what we were discussing here, please chuck them in the comments below and we'll do our best to answer them. When I say we, I say Emma, because she's so good with all admin. And if you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe, turn on the bell. I'm doing all this admin. And whether you've enjoyed this video or not, just click the like button, please.
Yeah, follow us. We've got a TikTok now because we're like...
How modern.
Yeah, we're getting into that. That's weird. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.